Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I thought I would share with you some of my current favourite kind of makeup products that I've been loving to, that is kind of my go-to at the moment. Some you've seen quite a bit on camera, some you haven't. I thought I'd apply them to my face, but I thought because there's two eyeshadow palettes I kind of drift to at the moment quite a bit on a regular basis, and they're both quite neutral toned. So I thought, although these are going to be like my kind of current favourite go-to products, why not mix up and do an eye look that I don't tend to do, or is not necessarily my favourite kind of style of eye look to go for. And that would be a cut crease. Very rarely do I do cut creases. I think they look really cool, but I'm just not very good at doing them. I don't think my eye shape necessarily suits that as such. But I thought, why not give myself a little challenge in this video and do a cut crease and make it a little bit more interesting, I guess. But so that's what today's video me is going to be, and yeah, I'll just show you my favourite products as well. So I'm going to start my face portion first today, and the first product is this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Now, I left this behind at my sister's for ages and I was so gutted. This is actually something I got for my birthday very kindly. It's a really beautiful product. It is kind of it's a glow. It's a really kind of nice, beautiful glow. It also adds a little bit of coverage, but a very small amount. So you can use under foundation to create the glow, or on top to add that glow but a bit of extra coverage. That's how it's described as. So it's kind of like an in-between product. But I mean, the coverage is very minimal, I would say. But it does make your skin kind of really healthy, glowy, and it looks really, really nice. So I'm not going to do foundation today. I'm just going to use this and concealer. This is kind of a little bit taken over from my 100% Pure Luminous Primer, I'm not going to lie, just a little bit, just because I think this is such a nice product. I still love that product obviously, but yeah, this has just been a really great one for me. So it comes on a big doe foot applicator. Oh, and they do different shades of this, so I have mine in Fair 1. And I'm just going to put some kind of all over. I did use this actually in my video with Emily. I might just a little bit on the chin. And yeah, it just gives a really beautiful kind of great finish to the skin. So I'm just going to use a sponge to blend this in. And it doesn't really have any like shimmer or glitter to it, which is kind of what I like, because it looks more kind of natural that way, I think. So obviously it makes my skin look very glowing. There's certain areas where I don't necessarily want it to be quite so glowy, so I will go with powder and some concealer and stuff like that. And you can pinpoint it if you want to, but it does give this really beautiful overall glow, which is perfect for, like, yeah, like I said, just wear it alone if you wanted to, maybe pinpoint it in certain areas, and it looks so nice. And it does make the skin look healthier and fresher, I think, and I really, really like this product. So that's the first one. So I'm going to move on to concealer. So I've actually got two concealers today, but I've got them for different purposes. So it's kind of like a tough choice, but the one I'm going to use to like cover bits up and things like that is actually the Hint Beauty concealer today. I've run out of my Fair one, the sample size. I'm going to go with the light one, but I am in the process of repurchasing the Fair one, but in a full size. But I'm just going to go with this one for now. So I'm going to use my fingers for this. I'm going to put this under my eyes. I've got any blemishes that I have as well. So I'm just going to put some either way. And actually, you know what, I'm going to go back with a sponge just to help blend this in. Blends in so easy and looks very natural on the skin as well. And by going with your finger, it'll give a lighter coverage, but if you go with the brush, like I sometimes do, it gives a lot more coverage. So it just depends on the finish you want. A little bit around my nose. Let's go on the chin as well. And actually, I'm going to take the concealer just on a brush. This is the Real Techniques concealer brush, just purposely for that spot that I've got on my chin, which is actually going down quite nicely at the moment. And apart from that, someone did comment, my skin hasn't been too bad. in terms of, because usually I've got loads of mini spots. It's just been this really big one recently that's kind of taken over my chin, but apart from that, it hasn't been doing too badly, which is obviously a very good thing. I'm going to go with some powder, so I'm going to take the RMS Beauty and Powder. And actually I'm going to go with a sponge again. I quite like applying with the sponge to begin with. And I'm going to use this obviously to set the concealed areas, but also the areas where I want less shine or less glow, I'm going to pop it there as well, because I do have an oily T-zone. That's kind of the area I kind of want to avoid too much glow. I like a little bit still, but not too much. And this powder is so finely milled, and it's just so light on your skin. It doesn't feel heavy, and it really does mattify where you want mattifying as well. So I'm just going to put around the nose and down the sides of the nose. I don't mind a little bit of the tip. I don't mind the bridge being still glow. The sides I quite like to mattify slightly. And then obviously on my chin, that's the big area where I kind of don't necessarily want to be completely shiny there. And then what I do is, just to make sure I've got rid of everything, I just go in with a little brush. Just make sure I have actually swept everything away. There's nothing excess sitting on my skin. I don't want to be there. So I've still got that glow going on, but I just haven't got it in the areas where I want too much shine. Okay, so then I'm going to move on to bronzer. Again, this kind of switches up quite a lot, as you know, but for today it's going to be the Lily Miami Beach bronzer. I just really love this bronzer and stuff, and this one's a bit more of the matte one, whereas my Hamza Pure one is more, it has that satin finish that gives it more of a glow. But because I've got the glow going already, I prefer just to go with a slightly more matte one. So yes, I really like this one. As you know, I do love Lily Lolo products. So I'm just going to give my face a general bronzing. And I've decided I might just treat myself to a few new things, so I might give that Lily Lolo volumizing mascara a go, just to see how volumizing it is, because that is my preference. And I found with the last Lily Lolo one, it just wasn't for me. But I love most of the products, so I'm kind of, yeah, I want to give that one a go. October's approaching soon. I'm quite excited to come up with some tutorials. I've started doing some of my prosthetic stuff, and I don't know if people are interested on this channel for seeing prosthetic pieces and things like that, but if you've got any ideas for Halloween, let me know. If you want to see some prosthetic work, then again, obviously let me know, because although I have been enjoying blusher at the moment, and the one I'm enjoying the most is the powder blush in Make Me Blush. It's a really beautiful, it gives a very natural flush to the cheeks. It's not anything too pink or too coral or anything like that. It's a very nice kind of neutral tone. I'm just going to pop it onto the cheeks and blend up into the contours. Sorry, there is a mirror down here, which is why I'm looking. And then highlighter. It's always a tricky one because I do love my highlighter, but I have to say my Lily Lolo highlighter, especially in the shade Champagne, just because it's been a bit more sunny at the moment, is my go-to. I'm actually really enjoying this brush at the moment. I don't know if it'll be up before this video or after, but I'm doing a brush video of my favourite cruelty-free ones, so that will be coming soon. But this is an iconic London one, and I've just been really enjoying it. Sometimes I enjoy it for powder, and sometimes I enjoy it for highlight. Kind of, it's a multi-use one for me, but those are the two things I use it for. But I find it picks up the right amount of product, and it looks really beautiful. And yeah, it just applies really beautifully. And obviously I love my Lily Lolo highlighters. Okay, so that's the skin portion done, so I'm looking very glowy, and I really like kind of how everything's looking with my favourite products, obviously. So moving on to brows. You probably guessed the brows I've been loving, because they're the same products I use most of the time. The Alveda Transparent Brow Gel and my Lily Lolo Eyebrow Gel in Dark. So obviously that's what I'm using today. I do like to... I'm going to go with the brow gel first. I've mentioned this in a previous video. I like to go with brow gel first because it helps me determine where I want my brows to be placed and things like that. And when the powder hits the gel, it makes the powder go further as well. I will go in afterwards as well, but I like to go before. And I quite like transparent brow gels because sometimes the coloured ones can give too much pigment and clump up too much and doesn't look great, but clear ones are always good. So I tend to always start off with the underneath section of my brow and then work onto the tail of the brow. And then whatever's left, work to the front. I'm not gonna lie, I'm someone who likes something quite quick and easy to do with brows. I'm not the kind of person that will carve out brows and really go for it. I want them to look relatively natural but also kind of shaped and filled in as well. That's just my personal preference. And then I will go in one last time with the brow gel just to bring the hairs back to life. Okay, so moving on to eyes. So priming eyes, I think we all know it's going to be the Lily eye primer. Before I did the eye primer video, I used concealer all the time, but actually, as I proved in that video, this works better than the concealers I was using to prime. So there are two kind of eyeshadow palettes I tend to gravitate most towards, and they are neutral palettes like I said. So you've got the Nip and Fab Sculpted palette and the Hands Up Pure Naked 2 palette. It's my favourite out of the two, I have to say, out of the two Naked palettes and Hands Up Pure. And like I said, because I've kind of used these both in videos quite a lot and stuff like that, I was trying to think of a different style I don't tend to do, and it is a cut crease. I don't know, I just think I'm not very good at it. It doesn't necessarily suit my eye shape, but it's always quite nice to challenge myself. So that's what I'm going to do today. So let's just zoom in a little bit closer so we can see what I'm doing and see how bad I am. So I think I'm going to start off into the Nip and Fab palette, and I'm just going to build up a lot of different transition colours. I'm going to start with the shade Suede first on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to pop this through the crease. I'm going to start in the centre of the crease, and it's going to go above the crease as well because I'm using quite a fluffy brush. So it's going to be like a transition shade, work it in there, and then I can start bringing it to either the inner and outer sections as well. I do quite like bringing the eyeshadow right up into the inner section. I don't know why, but I quite like it. And it almost hits the brow, especially in the inner section as well, which I quite like. Okay, I'm then going to dip into Heat, which is this colour right here, on a slightly smaller, fluffier brush. But put it in the same areas I put the first shade, but just try not to bring it quite as high up. Going back with the fluffy shade, brush, without any more product on, and just go back over that, so the additional product will help blend out that colour. Okay, so the next shade I'm going to take is the shade In Vogue, which is down here, on an even smaller brush this time. And this is going to go mainly into the crease and not so much above like I did with the other ones. It doesn't matter too much if I go onto the actual lid because I'm going to be putting concealer there to help with this cut crease. And again, go in with the first fluffy brush, no additional product, and just make sure everything blends nicely together. Then I'm actually going to take my pencil brush and I'm going to go into the Naked 2 palette now. I'm going to take the really dark shade Vivid here and really focus this onto the crease section. So there's a lot of building that I'm doing with the eyeshadows, but I find that's the way to get the cut crease best, or what I've seen anyway. It just gives more effect. Take the previous brush, the smaller brush that we used for the darker shades, and use this to blend that in. And then go over with a really fluffy brush just to make sure everything is nice and blended still. Okay, now for the moment of truth. So now I'm going to actually go ahead and attempt to cut my crease. So like I mentioned, I had two concealers I was kind of tossing between, wasn't sure. The other one was the Makeup Revolution Concealer Define, and I think this is a much better concealer for the purposes I'm going to use now as opposed to the Hint Beauty one. But yeah, I really like this. So I've got some of the concealer on the back of my brush, a flat brush. I'm going to go ahead. I was told if you put some down and then look up, it should, well, I don't really do anything, it should give an indication of where you want your cut crease to be. But I'm just going to left a slight mark, but I'm just going to go ahead and have a go. See, I think what I should have done is brought the darker colours higher up, because you kind of can't really see the effect of it properly. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not the neatest I've ever done. I find cut creases so hard to do. Let's just wing it out slightly as well. Why not? We'll see. I've got such uneven eyes, it just doesn't work. Anyway, now that's down, I'm going to take the actual illuminator from the Naked 2 palette on a flat brush. I'm going to pack this onto where I've put this cut crease. And I'm actually going to take some of this shade here, which I believe Splendor is a shade, and this can go on the outer portion of the lid and just blend in to that illuminator. Now I'm going to take a really small angled brush and go back in with Vivid, which is the dark purple from the Naked 2, and just see if I can go over the line where the cut crease is, just to see if I can enhance the fact that it is meant to be a cut crease. So slightly. And then what I'm going to do is take the small fluffy brush and just very carefully blend it, but not obviously downwards, more upwards. So it kind of blends into that work. So it's not so much of a line, but there still is kind of. I think that's as good as my cut crease is going to get, to be honest. So I'm just going to quickly go in with some shadow for the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with Suede. I'm going to go in with Suede first, this one here. Run this along. Take some heat again on the same brush. And again, run this along. And then take some Vivid from the Naked 2 on my pencil brush. And again, run this along right as close to the lash line as I can. So to finish off the eyes, I'm going to go in mascara, and actually I've got a brand new Kiko Extra Sculpt mascara here, which I'm very excited to get out. I really love this mascara. It's definitely the most volumizing mascara I own, for sure, and I just absolutely love it. I'm going to go ahead and give my upper and lower lashes a good coating. And try not to get it on my eyeshadow, which happens quite a lot. I'm just going to go ahead and try and get rid of those pesky mascara marks. So the last part of this video is lips. So I've got a combo of 3 here, a lip liner, a lipstick and lip gloss, because I have actually being a little bit enjoying lip gloss at the moment, which is quite rare. But the lip line I'm going to go in with is a Kiko Everlasting Colour Precision lip line. I really like these lip liners. This and the Lily Lolo lip liners are definitely my top lip liners. This is in the shade 402. It's just a really nice kind of peachy nude type of colour. So I'm going to outline my lips. It's really creamy, but not like really creamy that kind of slips everywhere, which is good. And I like because it's retractable as well, so you haven't got the faff of sharpening, but you've still got plenty of product, which I'm very pleased about. Then for lips is the Kiko Instant Lip Colour Liquid Lipstick. This isn't an 01, so it's the nude one. I've got a couple of these because I really like them. And yeah, this is really great on the lips. Now before I would have left it there, left my lips matte, but I have, like I said, been enjoying a little bit of gloss, and it's the Lily Lolo lip glosses that I've been really enjoying. Actually, I've been kind of enjoying the shade Whisper, but I'm actually deciding to go with clear for this look today because I think it would tie in better. So yeah. So that was all my kind of favourite current go-to makeup products that I've really been loving at the moment. And I thought, like I said, because it's quite neutral palettes, eyeshadow palettes for this, I thought I'd try something different and go for a cut crease, which isn't my typical kind of go-to eye look. It turned out okay, it's not the best, and I just feel like because I've got uneven eyes, it kind of a little bit emphasises that, which is why I don't tend to go for it. I love like just a total smoky eye, and I love halo spotlight eyes. It's just cut creases for me. I quite like half cut creases, but yeah, like full on cut creases, A, I find them tricky, and B, I just don't know, I just don't think they suit me necessarily, but I don't think this turned out too badly. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what your current makeup products are down below, along with any future video requests, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.